All right, guys, we are back once again with our NHL 23 franchise mode. If you missed out on the last episode, it was an absolute heartbreaker for us. We end up making it all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, and then once again in 2007 classic Sens fashion, losing to the Anaheim Ducks, this time in 6 games. Horrible, horrible way to go out. But I will say, as a Sens fan, making it to the Stanley Cup Finals is something that I don't know if it will ever happen in my lifetime. So although we lose, and it's really, really hard to lose in the Stanley Cup Final, I am proud of what the team put together. And speaking of the team, let's take a look at their individual stats throughout the playoffs, because I was in such dismay last time that I completely neglected these guys who put on a fantastic show for us. So let's see who did what for us. And our leading point man was Tim Stützle with 23 points in 23 games. He went point per game. He almost led the team in goals as well. And he was a +6, centering that first line for quite a few years now. He's been a very, very integral part of this team. Next up, we have Alex DeBrincat, who's on that second line that did so well for us as well, with only 7 goals, but 18 points, pretty good for 23 games. Then a big surprise here, Walker Reimer, who was in his second year in the NHL, only scored 44 points in 82 games, but in the playoffs comes out and scores 16 in 23, so perhaps a playoff performer. Drake Batherson had a very similar stat line as well, more of an assist man compared to Walker Reimer, who was more of a goal scorer, even though he's a playmaker. I don't really understand that, but that's okay. And then Ruslan Todorov as well. So Ruslan Todorov, Walker Reimer, both with great playoff performances as young kids. Then Kasper Halttunen with 15 points in 23 games, nothing to sneeze at either. He kind of took a bit of a drop off this year compared to his previous years. 51 is his point high, which is not that much actually, and then he's at a career low year this year, but +17 was pretty good, and in the playoffs 15 points in 23 games is not bad. Damien Pascal I was hoping for a little bit more out of, for sure. 13 points in 23 games isn't awful, but as an 87 overall sniper with 5-star shooting, I'd want a few more goals out of you, to be fair. Then Berkeley Catton had a very, very good playoff performance. Young kid, still only 81 overall. I'm hoping that grows this offseason, but super quick. And 13 points in 23 games is good. This one, though, our captain, I don't want to say he let us down, but he kind of did. Only 8 points in 23 games. That's just getting second line ice time, like playing almost 20 minutes a night, well, almost 19 minutes a night. That's pretty unacceptable for Brady Tkachuk. Then Carter Verhaeghe, a free agency pickup, had 7 points for us. Nicely done. Yakov Trenin, a defensive monster, I feel like. I don't know. I just feel like he simulates pretty well defensively. Had 5 points in 23 games. Matthew Joseph as well, 5 points in 23 games. And those are the forwards that led us to the Stanley Cup Final. Defensively now, Thomas Chabot and Jake Sanderson leading the charge. Jake Sanderson as a +10 as well, so he really turned it on in the playoffs. And Thomas Chabot with 19 points. Fantastic playoff performance from him. His first real time making it super far. Well, actually, no, he did it in 2017 as well, so good on him. Then Rasmus Anderson even with 11 points, Noah Dobson with 10 points. Jake Clemenson had 6 points here, and then Vladislav Gavrikov just there to lock it down defensively, and he did just that. Goaltending now. And I'm actually okay with Pyotr Kochetkov. I think there were a few games that he saved for us for sure. He got back-to-back shutouts to close out round number 2, I believe. And he was just all over the place, man. He played pretty well in the playoffs. 14, 7, and 2 with 3 shutouts, a .908 save percentage, and a 2.87 goals against average. Those are pretty decent numbers for EA land for sure. Now, we did lose in the finals to Anaheim, but I'm still proud of the boys nonetheless. And speaking of the team, I want to go show you guys these contracts, because it's not only the draft, but it's the contracts this year as well. And I think it's going to be at the end of an era with Brady Tkachuk here. He wants $11.35 million. I know he's our captain. I know he's only 28, but only 8 points in the playoffs, and he only scores like 60 points a year. Right down here it was 45. So for somebody who wants to make $11 million at only giving us 60 points. That's pretty unacceptable. He's a great player and stuff, but I think we can replace him within our system. Now, on the other hand, Noah Dobson here, who had more points than Brady Tkachuk and is a defenseman, also a right-handed defenseman, same age. Only 85 overall, but he seems to simulate quite well. For us, he scored 7 points in 21 games, which is okay. He had 30 points in 62 games, so in 83 games, he had 37 points, which is not great, but he was pretty good for us in the playoffs. And so I do want to keep Noah Dobson on board. Now, he wants $7.825 million for 3 years. If we bring it down to 2 years, it's still $7.825 million, but 85% of that is 6.5 something. So if I go to 6.675, we can see if he'll accept it. And that can be that. The rest of these guys here, I think Tyler Boucher we can sign to like 1 year. Yeah, 1.65 mil. So that is 1.425 or so. We can see if he will accept this. Let's go 1.45 just to spice it up a little bit more. Gigi Comfer could come back, a bit older though, and Yakov Trenin could come back, so could really Greg. All these guys who I can mostly worry about in... Ooh, also maybe Dimitri Tutin. It might be his time to sign on. Yeah, that's true. And we also have... where is he? Forwards unsigned... Yes, we also have Phil Pablo Kilger, who will be making his NHL debut with us as well. So... interesting stuff from the team for sure. But let's go to the draft and I'll show you guys who I have my eyes on. Okay, and look at this. Noah Dobson has agreed to renew his contract with us at 6.675, which is less than he was making when we picked him up at the trade deadline. So that is very, very nice to see. And also, Tyler Boucher renews his contract with us. He likes the contract duration, so that's good as well. A good bottom six guy for us who never really grew, but bottom six is still important for the team. And here is the draft lottery, in case you guys were wondering. Vancouver stays at 1, New Jersey goes up to 2, St. Louis goes down to 3, then the Islanders at 4, Washington at 5, Arizona moves from 16 to 6, so then everybody else moves down 1 slot. So congratulations to Arizona and Vancouver were the biggest movers of the draft. And now we get to player retirement. Let's view the 2028 retirement draft class. And Claude Giroux calls it a career at 40 years of age. He was with the Sens for 4 years. He was 4 years with us. And it looks like he finished his career off in the AHL, but he had 1,300 points in 1,400 games played. So that is very, very successful career for Claude. Down here, next up we have TJ Oshie, who had 987 points in 1,300 or almost 1,400 games. Congratulations to TJ. Max Pacioretty, Montreal Canadiens former captain. He was a Vegas Golden Knight as well. So good career for Max. Here almost reaches the 1,000-point mark. Braden Shen, 8 points from reaching 900 total in his career with 1,257 games played. Brent Burns is down here. Paul Stastny, a really, really legendary draft class, actually. Drew Doughty, John Carlson, crazy stuff. Andre Palat, who has 3 rings with Tampa, or maybe 4. No, I think it's 3. Adam Henrique. Jakob Silverberg was a former Senator, right? Way back in the day. Here, he played 1 season with the Sens in 2013. Kyle Palmieri, Tyler Johnson, undrafted. Love to see it. And all the rest of these guys down here. Yanni Gourde, he seems a little young. Only 36. Only 36 till 82. Maybe the heart just wasn't in it for Yanni. Now let's go to goaltenders and see. Braden Holtby falls off, and he ends his career with 299 wins, 143 losses, a 914 career save percentage. Good stuff. Jakob Markstrom as well. Peter Mrazek, only 36. All right, kind of strange to see that. Antti Ranta, 39. Jonathan Bernier, who actually retired in real life as well. So retirement in this universe and real life. Congratulations to him. David Riddick here. Calvin Picard, Maxime Legacy, or it's just Max actually, sorry. Nicholas Zvedberg. Oh my gosh, Krister Gudlevskis, or however you say that. He has a hut card, I think. That's actually pretty okay. Zane McIntyre, all these guys down here who I don't even know. But nonetheless, a great retirement draft class. I want to go look at defensemen because they obviously don't really show up in the top people. If there's any of these guys are your favorite, Dmitry Orlov goes out. Any of your favorite players down here? Ian Cole, good lord, we don't like bringing him up. Brian Dumoulin, great defensive defenseman. But yeah, so that's the retirement class. Mostly headlined by Claude Giroux, TJ Oshie, Max Pacioretty, and probably Brent Burns, John Carlson, Drew Doughty. So a lot of Stanley Cup champions, a lot of great players, and that is what the draft class, or excuse me, the retirement class looked like. Any coach retirements for us? Ottawa, no, I do not believe so. So that is good. Our coach stays on. We don't need to do the draft interviews. Do your trade block, and now it is draft time. Okay, so this is what the draft class looks like. We have Matthew Bissonnette probably going first overall, medium elite playmaker. Then Maury Vlasic. Is his style similar to? Nah, that would have been so cool if it was similar to Marc-Edouard Vlasic. All these guys down here. And we pick at spot number 31, which is, obviously going to be pretty late because of where we finished in the playoffs. So I don't know that there's anybody too crazy that I want to go after up here. Perhaps this guy, but I don't really need somebody NHL ready right now. Tuomas Kapanen, 6 feet, cycle pinch. He has tape to tape X Factor, which is probably pretty good. But I want somebody kind of a few years away, to be honest. And I also want a defenseman. So I'm not sure how we're going to find that because these guys are all medium top 6. We don't really have the assets to trade up into here. And even if we do, 12 is the closest person. So I don't know, kind of weird. We're in a bit of a strange position right now. Okay, so even though Tuomas Kapanen here is NHL ready, and we don't really need that right now, he has an X factor and he fits our lines of cycle pinch, so I think he's probably a pretty good person to go after here. He's scheduled to go at 29, so we'll probably have to trade up for 26 or so, 27 maybe, and see if we can get that done. But without further ado, guys, let's begin the 2028 draft and see what happens in it. Who anybody want to trade their top picks? Does not look like it. The first pick that wants to be traded is number 16. Yeah, all these middle picks are not great. So we can trade for the 25th pick, it seems like, and probably pick up Kapanen with that. So I'll do that. But first, let's simulate the first couple picks of the draft. First overall is Bissonnette, the right wing playmaker. He's got pretty kind of an all around good player. No crazy stats in any category, it doesn't seem like. Just a base level, a good player, 87 passing, and these are his X factors here. Second overall now is Maurice Vlasic, 79 overall, two-way defender with base decent defensive stats, 84 defensive awareness, 85 shot blocking, things of that nature. Nothing crazy, 88 speed's pretty good for a 61 overall, but nothing too insane yet. Defensive defenseman Marco Laaksonen, who has really good defensive stats for somebody who's only 18. Bad puck skills, though. Okay, decent physical. Yeah, he's a player for sure. Very defensive, though. Barely any offensive talent whatsoever. 79 offensive awareness, only 80 passing, 79 puck control, things like that. His accuracy is bad. Personally, I wouldn't really like a player like that, but to each their own. Then we have Vladimir Jas here, defensive defenseman as well, but really, really, really good shot blocking and defensive awareness. He also doesn't have great offensive statistics, but he does have better X factors with shutdown, back at truculence, and in reverse. So probably will be a good player for the Islanders there, who desperately needs, well, all these teams obviously need some help pretty bad. Then there's the Washington Capitals, another defenseman. So this year riddled with defensemen. Last year it was all the top 5 were all offense. This year, 4 of the top 5 are in defense. So kind of interesting how the simulation decides who the top prospects are going to be. But now I think I'm going to trade for the New York Rangers pick and see what I have to give up for. Do I have to give you an arm and a leg for 6 spots? Most likely. So what do you want, New York? Okay, let's see if this goes through. I give you a first and a third to move up 6 spots, and you give me back a 7th. I don't know if it will, but let's see. Trade rejected. Quite far off based in value. Okay, sure. What if I get rid of the 7th? It's accepted. You're happy to accept this proposal, and it's a done deal. Okay, fair enough. We have to give up a third to move up 6 spots. Yeah, all right. So let's just sim to our pick at number 25 here and pick up Thomas Kapanen. I'm going to say that. Thomas Kapanen. I don't know if it's right. I'm sure you guys can let me know in the comments if you wish. But he is from Liga. Oh, let me do this right. I always forget to do this. But with the with the 25th overall selection in the 2028 NHL Draft, the Ottawa Senators are proud to select from Roman Luka from the Liga, Thomas Kapanen. Welcome to the team, my friend. How good are you? 77 overall, so you can play in the AHL probably. These are what his stats look like. Pretty okay. Yeah, it's sort of base everywhere. Decent offensive awareness at 80. Defensive awareness 83, or offensive awareness 81. 83 defensive awareness, shot blocking, and stick checking. Okay, so pretty basic everywhere, and he does have tape to tape, so that is pretty good. Okay, so with our next pick here, we are now at pick number 45. We can see how the rest of the draft has gone so far. Let me just call a timeout so we can go back to the first round again, because I forgot to show you guys who went in like the late teens or so. Most of these people in the second round, excuse me, are medium top 4 and medium top 6 players. Same thing with kind of the start of the first round. This guy right here, really good pickup for the Los Angeles Kings. A two-way defender, 78 overall with X factors as well, so that's pretty good. Also, this guy here, Louis Desjardins for Carolina, probably be a good offensive defenseman for them right here, playmaker. Okay, so there's some really good players out here in the first round. Then it kind of drops off a cliff to medium top 6s and medium top 6 defensemen and medium top 9 forwards. So we kind of pick up the last really good player, it seems. But yeah, so down here in the second round, medium top 6, medium top 4 guys. Then we're starting to get into medium top 6 defensemen and top 9 forwards. So that's kind of unfortunate. There was a goalie that went as well. So what are we left with? We're left with not really much to choose from at all, which is kind of rough. Okay, back-to-back. There's back-to-back gems here, which is cool. I think I'll go for the defenseman. He's got an X factor. What's his X factor? Heat Seeker, maybe. Cycle pinch as well fits the system, and 3 years away. 5'10", offensive defenseman. Yeah, from the Swift Current Broncos, the Ottawa Senators are proud to select Rich Melnick. His name's Melnick, too. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. We have to pick him up. Rich Melnick. I don't know if it's spelled the same. Actually, I don't think it is. But 63 overall, low top for defenseman with Seeing Eye. Okay, not bad. His stats look pretty rough, but he's also 63 overall, so it's kind of what you expect. And now we can sim to the 63rd selection that we have. And, we could pick up a goalie, a medium elite goalie, which would be kind of good. Anybody else, though? Okay, with this pick, I think we're going to trade it down to the Montreal selection because at 74, because there wasn't really anybody I was too interested in, to be honest with you. So I think I'm going to do this and see. Actually, maybe grab me like a 6th next year as well, or a 7th next year. Yeah, they have a lot of picks, so let's try for a 6th. Let's try for a 7th next year and see what they say to this. Rejected, too far off. A single 7th, even reject. Oh my god. Okay, so I might as well not trade the pick then because it doesn't make sense to. So let's just make it. I think I know who I'm going to pick up. Like, that's so ridiculous, EA. I'm trading down like 20 spots and I can't even get a 7th round pick. That's so ridiculous. It makes me so angry. But either way, I think I'm going to pick up this guy here. He's a sniper. He's a right winger, 6'1", 19 years old though, actually. Whereas this guy's 18. Okay, maybe I'll pick this guy up then. He's 18 years old, possibly a sniper. Let's do it. We only have 35 seconds. His name is Joaquin Quint. So almost Joaquin Phoenix, which is kind of cool. A playmaker, a right wing playmaker. Okay, passing for a 63 overall, 77 passing's not bad. All right, I'll take that for sure. Next pick at 94. Let me see what's around there. Okay, I can simulate to our next pick pretty freely, and this one's kind of exciting as well because well, first of all, there's some goalies, some medium elite goalies, but I think it's more important to try to pick up a medium elite defenseman here. 5 years away, shoot pinch, which is kind of unfortunate, but medium elite. He's only 18 as well, and he's a right defenseman, 6'1". What did he do in a C- league? He had 27 points. That is not bad, but he will probably be like 50 something overall. But we are proud to select from the U.S. Development Center, Harold Betts. Welcome to the Ottawa Senators organization, Mr. Betts. You are 54 overall, two-way defender with pretty abysmal stats, but it's kind of what you expect from somebody who's going to be 5 years away. Okay, now I'm going to do another trade with the Montreal Canadiens here. I'll give them a 4th and a 6th, I think, for a 4th and a 7th. I don't know if it'll go through, but I think this works in our favor. I mean, the trade value is in their favor, so let's see if it goes through. Accepted. Okay, fair enough, Montreal. Thank you very much. That's a deal that I am very willing to do because at pick number 106, we get to pick up a medium elite grinder, a center, a medium elite grinder, which would be super cool to have in the team. He's also a gem, so that should be good. And his name is also almost Walter White, which would be pretty funny. But Walter Winther, we're proud to select you from the Lethbridge Hurricanes of the WHL. Welcome to Ottawa, my friend. Oh, only 48 overall, though. No goals, no assists in 27 games played. Can I see if he threw the body, if he like hits or anything like that, or do those stats not show up? Yeah, they don't show up for the minors, but fair enough. Try to grow, Walter. You also have really, really good trade value, so we might use you in a trade of some kind. Pick 159 now. Let me see what's around there. All right, we will just simulate to our next pick. What's going around here? A lot of low top 9 forwards, low top 6 defensemen. All right, so yeah, we're kind of getting to that point of the draft where you just sort of take a chance on somebody. We have this guy covered, Per Alman from Liga, who's a medium top 4. So let's take him. Why not? 5 years away, but potential is all that matters. 53 overall. Love to see it. Next selection, we're just going to go through them now at 173. There might be people that I'm missing out on, but either way, I think it's time to take some potential guys. Yeah, because there's a lot of low elite players that we can definitely snag up. A defensive defenseman, a two-way forward, and another two-way forward. Also, maybe these guys down here. This guy at 828 scheduled to go. He's got confidence, even though he's way, way off the draft board. But for right now, let's take... None of these guys have X factors, right? Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, let's take Gregory O'Reilly. Sure, let's take Gregory O'Reilly first. Actually, we should just take the first person. Yeah, let's take the first person. So this is Petri Luhi, right defenseman from Vaxjo Lakers in the SHL. Ooh, a Laker. Love to see that on the team. Oh my god, 70 overall? What? Was I just blind? Oh my god, a 6th round selection at 70 overall low elite. I thought that said 5 years away. Oh my god, 70 overall defensive defenseman. That's fantastic, man. Holy smokes. Have I been blind this whole time? 5 years away, 5 years away. I have to go back in the recording and actually look at it. But that's pretty insane, man. Oh my. Okay. Well, let's get to the next pick at 202. We can select. Are any of these guys still here? Yes, one of them definitely. Yeah, let's take Gregory O'Reilly. Why not? Gregory O'Reilly from the SYP Zvliskila from Liga. I'm so sorry for anybody who is from that region. But we take Gregory O'Reilly, low elite sniper, 1-star shooting, 47 overall. Love to see it. And then 205, probably our last pick of the draft. We can take, let's take our pick. Do we like Andrew Stevens, Jesper Schroeder or Charlie Vegeta. Well, this guy's guaranteed low elite, so we should probably take him. Andrew Stevens from the U.S. Development Center. Two-way forward, perhaps. Welcome to the roster. 57 overall, right wing. Two-way forward. All right, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. And that is it for our draft. We did pretty dang good, especially with the selection of, what was it, Luhi, I believe. Kapanen as well, 77 overall. We got some low elites, we got some medium elite players, a pretty good depth draft. Nobody that will join the roster like this year or anything like that, but good for the future of the Senators, hopefully. And now it is contract time. Okay, so here we are at the re-sign phase. Let's look at everybody who is expiring, and we have, if you actually, I'll just show it for you guys on the screen. We have $13 million of cap space left. Now, that's for this year. If we actually look at the team as a whole, look at next year, we have all these guys re-signing and stuff like that, but, oh, sorry, I have to go to, like, main, oh, but everybody in the main roster is here. But either way, we have a lot of contracts coming up that are very, very important ones. So, for example, we have Damien Pascal, who's going to be needing a new contract, Jake Sanderson needing a new contract, Ruslan Zadorov needing a new contract, Walker Reimer, Berkeley Catton, and then after that, Jake Clemenson as well. So a lot of important contracts that need to be signed next year. So because of that, I don't want to go too crazy in free agency. Christian Havlat does not seem to be growing basically at all, but that's kind of unfortunate. So I don't want to go too insane in free agency, nor do I want to go too crazy with contract extensions. And so for that reason, I think that I can't possibly justify bringing back Brady Tkachuk. He's our captain. I know he's a big part of the team, and in real life, he's a way better player than how he simulates in the EA land. In real life, he gets like 80 points, you know, in that range, but in the EA verse, excuse me, he's had 70, 66, 45, 63, 69, and then 69 again. It's just not justifying $11 million in my opinion. I know it's rough. I know it's a hard pill to swallow. He's our captain. He's our friend. He is, you know, the heart of this team. But at the same time, I don't think I can sign Brady. So I think we might have to release him. And it hurts my heart because he brought us to a Stanley Cup final as the captain. I don't know what to do, man. I don't know. Because he's a great player, obviously, but I just don't think that he can fit the team, maybe. I don't know. And so, you know, let's check what the roster would look like without him. So we would have Stützle, DeBrincat, hang on, the forwards. Stützle, DeBrincat, Pascal, Batherson, Zadorov, Kasper Haltinen's dropping. He's an 85 now only. We can maybe throw Walker Reimer up there instead of Kasper Haltinen. Oof. Haltinen might be on the trade block, low-key. Walker Reimer, Berkeley Catton. Yeah, we have a lot of medium elite guys. And I don't know that Brady Tkachuk is cutting it. Then after that, so our top 12 look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for sure, Tyler Boucher, and then Yakov Trenin perhaps at 10, GT Comfort maybe at 11 or something like that. Oh, Pablo Kilgar's got to get a contract. Let me offer him his entry-level deal. Let's offer that to him because he deserves to be on this team now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 people under contract for now. But we could re-sign Yakov Trenin, JT Compher, Matthew Joseph. How much does Matthew Joseph want? Only 1.5 for an 81 overall. What does he do for us? Nothing crazy. 16 points. Yeah, nothing crazy. We could get rid of Matthew Joseph probably. but he's a good defensive player. Okay, first things first, I want to sign Yakov Trenin to a one-year deal at 1.75 mil. Let's see if he signs that contract. Offer it to him. Next up here, Dmitry Tutin, or Titan here, needs a contract. He's a medium elite center sniper, 78 overall and only 20 years old, so let's give him his contract as well. And finally, you know what? I'm going to give a contract extension here to Matthew Joseph. I'll give him 1.6 mil for 1 year and see what he says to that. After that, I don't think I'm going to offer these guys contracts yet. I want to see what the roster looks like. I'll do all the AHL stuff as well for you guys, so you don't have to watch that. Okay, so let's advance the day now, and Yakov Trenin decides to sign with us, so that's fantastic. Great fourth line center he's been for us. Okay, Matthew Joseph doesn't want the 1.6 mil, so let's see what we can do about that. All of these guys signing on. Okay, Pablo Kilger signs on. He will be a part of this roster for sure, I think at least. And then all these, also Dmitry Tutin or Titan. I still don't know how to say that. So there we go. Now we only have Brady Tkachuk, Carter Verhaeghe, JC Compher, Matthew Joseph, and oh, I forgot about Robbie Urventi. How many contracts? We only have 47 contract spots though, so I don't know, Robbie. He might not be in the cards for you. Okay, let's see. Brady wants 11.4, and we only have 12.6 mil. Oh, Brady. I don't think it's going to happen with Brady, guys. I don't think it's going to happen. Goalies, we have no goalies to sign. Yeah, we need depth. So, Matthew Joseph, how much do you want? You don't want 1.6. Let's do 1.65. Yeah, I don't think we can get Brady on for what he wants. Carter Verhaeghe wants way too much. Let's get rid of Carter Verhaeghe. We're not going to sign him. Yeah, we don't have enough room for Brady. So it's with a heavy heart that after how many years in service with us? He was with us for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years with the Ottawa Senators, 10 years in the organization. We can't quite come to terms on a deal that will suit both us and Brady. And so for that reason, I'm going to have to release you, Brady. You've been an excellent captain, great force for this team, but we don't quite have the money to spend. And so I have to let somebody else pick you up, give you a fair chance at another cup. I wish you all the best in free agency, and goodbye, Brady. So that kind of sucks. But we do need to see if Matthew Joseph will sign here. Okay, scouts signing on. Matthew Joseph, what do you say, my friend? What do you say? More scouts. Hang on. Okay. Yeah. All right, there you go, coaches. Easy decision for Matthew Joseph to sign on. I appreciate that you chose to offer me the type of money that I feel I'm worth, so I decided to re-sign. Thank you very much, Matthew. So now let's check what the team looks like mainly. Stützle, DeBrincat. Let's just go forwards. I always make that mistake. Stützle, DeBrincat, Pascal, Batherson, Zadorov, Kasper Halttunen, Walker Reimer, Berkeley Catton, Tyler Boucher, Yakov Trenin, Matthew Joseph, and Pablo Kilger. Those are our top 12, with JT Compher probably not on the team. If we're being frank, yeah, I don't think he's going to be on the team. And then defensively, we look the exact same as the team that made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. Thomas Chabot, Jake Sanderson, Rasmus Anderson, Noah Dobson, Vladislav Gavrikov, and Jake Clemenson. Hopefully we get a little bit more growth out of Jake Clemenson. He's only 19. He's a low elite, but he doesn't seem to be growing too much, which I'm kind of disappointed by. But it is what it is at the end of the day. Don't need to sign any of these guys, so I think we're good to simulate to the end of the re-sign stage and get to the first day of free agency. Let's do it. All right, so here we are in free agency, and there are a few, well, there's one name that I really like, and he has no offer. So first of all, let's just look overall wise. Adam Boqvist here at the top, Tom Wilson as well, then our dear friend Brady. I was hoping as his demand might drop and we'd be able to pick him up. But then there's Nikita Kucherov, 35 years old, listed as exact top 6, so he could drop, but I would probably be getting him for like the third line or so, and we know he simulates well. So if I give him like 1 year at like $8.35 million, I think he would sign that, and he would be a crazy, crazy, crazy pickup for the bottom six, and he fits the third line power play lines. Oh my goodness. So this could be a pretty insane pickup. Other than that, there's nothing else that we really need. I mean, we don't really need Nikita Kucherov either, but it would just be an insane pickup. I don't know what else to say. It would be crazy. We could also go for Niels Hoglander here, who I did not notice, but 4 years is kind of scary because, as you guys saw before, we have a lot of contracts coming up at the end of next year. So I think I'm going to do Nikita Kucherov. He plagued us in year number 1. He dominated our team. So why not bring him on board? Similar to what we did with Victor Hedman. I know Victor Hedman was a failed experiment, but Nikita Kucherov could be a successful one. 8.35. Let's do $8.325 million for 1 year for Nikita Kucherov. Get your bag. I'm offering the contract. We still have like $3.8 million to play with, so $8.2 million to play with. So $3.82 million to play with, excuse me. So Nikita Kucherov, I'm offering you a contract. I'm overpaying you. Let's see what you say, my friend. Okay, so let's begin our simulation now and see what Nikita Kucherov says. Let's get around here to okay, I think it's this day now where he will decide whether he wants to join. Come on, Nikita. My God! Extremely happy to accept your offer. Your cash offer was most generous. It really was quite easy to make up my mind about your offer. Nikita Kucherov, welcome to the Ottawa Senators. Okay, with that signing now, oh, I forgot I can look at extensions. Okay, I'll do that later. But with that signing, we have our 12 players in our roster are now Tim Stützle, DeBrincat, Nikita Kucherov, oh my God, Demian Pascal, Drake Batherson, Ruslan Todorov, Kasper Halttunen, Walker Reimer, Berkeley Catton, Tyler Boucher, Yakov Trenin, and Matthew Joseph, with Pablo Kilgren looking in on the outside, but he will probably slot in there for maybe Tyler Boucher, perhaps? Yeah, something like that, I believe. But either way, now let's look at extensions because I do want to get some of these guys signed on. So let's see, how much does DeBrincat want, and how much do we have as well? Okay, so DeBrincat wants an extension, but he wants 7 years at 10.175, which would be less than what we had him for now. So we could probably get him around 8 mil, or just maybe like 9 million, something like that, which is good to know. I should actually probably do that, but for 7 years, it's kind of long. Next up, Demian Pascal, making 7 mil right now, wants 2 years, 10.625. That's a problem. Okay, we won't sign that yet. And then Walker Reimer wants, oh my God, wants 2 years, 9.75. Are you kidding me? Yikes. So, but for 3 years, 9.62. Okay, that's way too much. And Berkeley Catton, be nice to me, Berkeley. You want an extension? Please be nice to me. You want, oh my God, he only wants 2.35 mil. Oh, for 8 years? Okay, I gotta jump on this right now. You might call it cheese, and I guess it kind of is, but Berkeley Catton, I need to jump on this right now. So for 8 years, I can sign Berkeley Catton to 2 points. Okay, I don't want to cheese it too much, though. But I can sign him for I could sign him for 2.5 mil for 8 years. I'm gonna do 2.65 mil, just so that he doesn't totally hate us. Actually, yeah, what if he... That's true. What if he really, is disgusted by our offer? Why don't we go down? Let's go down to 6 years. 6 years, 2.75. I'll give you what you want for 6 years. Let's see what he says to it. It's a crazy contract nonetheless. Let's offer it to him and see. Other than that, I don't really want to offer other people contracts just because, I don't know. It doesn't feel like, maybe Alex DeBrincat or something, but he's 30. I don't want to give him a 7-year deal. I could do what could I do? 1, 2, 3. I could probably do 3 years at, what is this? I could do 3 years at 8.625 for Alex DeBrincat, which would be pretty crazy. But I think I'll do the math on that. Let's get to the preseason first and see what the team looks like, to be honest. I don't want to rush anything too crazy, and I want to get your guys' opinions on things as well. So let's see what everybody, or if Walker Reimer or Berkeley Catton, decides, and he does. I appreciate that you chose to offer me the type of money I feel I'm worth. Yeah, Berkeley, thank you so much for that contract. Crazy contract for him. Let's just sim it to next season. Okay, with the departure of our former captain, Brady Tkachuk, it is now only right that we assign captaincy to somebody else. And looking at these names, I think you guys know where I'm going to be going with this. And this is what it is. We are going to give Thomas Chabot, he's been here since, I don't know, 2015, probably something like that. We're going to give him the big C on his chest. He's been a lifelong Senator, and we are hoping to keep it that way. Our assistants, I think I'm okay with Alex DeBrincat for now. He's definitely been here for quite some time at this point. Yeah, I think that works. And then Tim Stützle as the other assistant, that definitely works for me. Drake Batherson actually been here longer than Alex DeBrincat. Let's give it to Drake Batherson, you know. Batherson, you can be our other alternate captain here. So Thomas Chabot, our captain, Tim Stützle, our alternate, as well as Drake Batherson. I think that works out pretty nicely. And now, oh baby, let's look at these lines, ladies and gentlemen. These lines look pretty insane, if I may say so myself. Look at all the X factors we have. Look at the +5s we have everywhere. What if we do this? Still +5? No, only +3. Ooh, interesting. Okay. But I think we're going to do that anyways. Damien Pascal kind of deserves first line time. But we can keep it like this for now. I just want to show you guys. Let's get Tyler Boucher out of there and throw in Pablo Kilger because I know he deserves some time as well. Oh, he does not fit the lines well at all, though. But he can get a +3 on that second unit. Also, 82 overall now, Pablo Kilger. We can throw him up there on the second line. We can keep him on the third if we want. We can get +5, +5, +5. Ruslan Zadorov, though, kind of getting not really being respected here. Ruslan Zadorov, he's an 86 overall, and he can't even get second line time. We do have a logjam for sure. So what should I do about Ruslan Zadorov? What should I do about Pablo Kilger? Defensively looks the same as last year, but Jake Clemenson up to an 82 overall now, which is good to see. Jake Sanderson up to an 88 overall as well. Wow. So he can get a +3 with Thomas Chabot. That's pretty cool. Okay, Jake Clemenson, interesting, 82. And then Pyotr Kochetkov up to 83, and Aiden Hill still at an 80. Okay, so that's what the roster looks like. This is what the power play looks like for now. I'll just show you guys. We got to throw Ruslan Zadorov on the power play. This is what the second unit looks like. Then the four-man power play looks like this, and four-man power play 2 like this. I'm just showing you guys this so you can let me know what I should change, what I should keep. I want to hear all your guys' opinions, thoughts and opinions down below about the line suggestions, things of that nature. And that's basically it. Let's go to extra lines now. 4-on-4 will probably be how it is, though. Just the highest overalls play, and the lower overalls do not. 3-on-3 like this. And you guys can just pause whenever you see fit. Extra attackers, I'm okay with Tim Stützle and Alex DeBrincat being there. Are they on the same line, though? They are on the same line, so it doesn't really make sense. Maybe it should be Walker Reimer or something. I don't really know. But yeah, those are the lines. And that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, feel free to give it a like, comment if you're new, and subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Peace out.